Hi, I'm Cody Gibson from the Portland Real Estate Group and United Home Group based in Portland, Oregon. We're on track to sell well over 500 homes this year. Thanks for watching. I've got with me today a special guest, Mike Tanner, who's our expansion partner in Vancouver, Washington. So Mike, thanks for joining me today.
Absolutely.
Now, what's interesting about Mike is we looked at some numbers looking at the first quarter of the year, and for the first quarter of the year, Mike, you've got over, what did you tell me, over 40 pieces of business so far for the first quarter.
We got 42.
And how does that break down?
I've got 13 that have entered into escrow,
Okay, 13 escrows,
17 seller listings,
17 seller listings,
and 12 buyer listings.
and 12 buyer listings, or some might call buyer rep agreements or buyer brokers. So congratulations on 42 pieces of business.
Thank you.
Now, you've been selling real estate for years, right?
Oh, long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
No?
No.
All right, how long?
November.
November of last year.
November 2015.
So this is your first full quarter in real estate.
Yes.
So your first 5-6 months in the business, over the course of the wintertime, which everybody knows is a bad or hard time to sell homes, right?
I respectfully disagree with that.
I want you to catch that. It's what you think. For your first quarter in the business, you've averaged over 5 seller listings a month.
Mhm.
That's amazing. Good job.
Thank you.
You could probably do more,
Absolutely.
and good job. All right, so what's the one thing, if you're listening on the video, what's the one thing that's caused you to list over 5 homes per month the first quarter of the year? And your first full quarter in real estate?
The one thing hands down is lead generation. Lead generation, lead generation.
All right, I get that. So lead generation, tell me more. What do you mean by lead generation? Take me 2 levels deeper. What does it mean?
My definition of lead generation is a minimum of 100 contacts every single week, no exceptions. More is better.
So what happens if you're short?
I make it up the next week.
Okay, and what do you have that dictates whether you're short or at or above?
I use the 411. Our entire team uses a 411, and that shows me exactly where I'm at all times.
So it's your tool that tells you where you're at.
Absolutely.
It's your tool that tells you if you're short, behind, or on goal, so that it's a dictator of your actions.
Correct.
Tells you what to do next.
Yep.
Okay, very good. So tell me about the 100 contacts. Who, for heaven's sakes, if I'm watching on the video and I'm new to the industry, who am I contacting 100 times per week? I can't call the same people
No,
over
you can't
and
call
over.
the same people. I contact my personal sphere, of course, and then I also contact a lot of internet leads as well.
Okay, so personal sphere, internet leads. You've got referrals in there somewhere from
Yep.
the group and referrals somewhere else. How do you stay on track?
I stay on track by using our CRM, number one,
Okay.
and every single day doing the exact same schedule as best I can.
Why would somebody list with you if you only have 5 months worth of experience? Why would they list with you and not with somebody who's been selling for years?
Well, I personally have 5 months of experience. However, I've also got a team backing me up that's got a lot more years of experience than that.
Okay.
So what I tell people is if, and it's a big if, I miss a detail, I've got 3 people behind me backing me up that are on my team that are not going to miss it. And in some cases, some of those have more experience than me.
Got it. All right. So tell me how. So you're using part of the group or team to help sell why they'd hire you.
Oh, that's a big differentiator between myself and other solo real estate agents.
Mike, let me ask you: how many times are you asked? How many times are you asked how long have you been selling real estate?
Hardly ever.
Yeah, hardly ever. Why do you think that is?
I think because I follow a script, I'm confident, and I bring a big value proposition to the table.
And so if you do that, what you're telling me is that if you do that, even if you're relatively new in the business, people just aren't asking you, "Hey, Mike, how long you been selling?"
Typically, no.
Yep, just doesn't happen. By the way, when I started selling over 15 years ago, same thing I found. Same thing. People just didn't ask how long I'd been selling.
Yep.
They assumed I'd been selling for a long time. And it's how I came off, and it's the way I talked, which of course is exactly what you're finding too.
Yep.
What's the one piece of advice, mindset specifically, to taking 5+ seller listings per month, putting 4 or more in escrow per month, and almost 4 per month in buyer listings? How do you manage all that with dealing with the business?
The mindset is, number one, you got to continue it. You can't stop. And so you have to do the lead generation every single day, block out that time, and then you also have to have a system to follow up with them as well.
Okay, very good. So in conclusion, what's the one piece of advice you'd give me if I was watching this video? What's the one piece of advice you give me if I'm in my first 6 or 8 months in the business, or if I'm looking to kickstart my business and do something like you're doing and average 5 or more seller listings, and heck, you're putting a home in escrow every week.
Yep.
You're doing more than a month than some agents do in a year. What's the one piece of advice you'd give me?
I'm going to sound like a broken record, but lead gen, lead gen, lead gen. Do not cut that out, no matter what you do.
What if you have to cut it out one day? Man, you got something happens, an emergency, something.
You make it up to next. You've got to get it done.
Okay, very good. Thanks for watching. Cody Gibson, Mike Tanner,
Thanks.
Portland Real Estate Group, and United Home Group. Mike, thanks for being here.